If you want to take advantage of this absolute absurdity that is altcoin season and make the most money possible, you do not want to miss this video. In this one, I'm going to go over what my plan is on how I'm going to exit the market, as well as touch on something called rotations. Guys, this one's really, really important. I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm going to sort of freestyle it, but it is one you absolutely do not want to miss. Go ahead and like and subscribe this video, and we're going to dive right in. Now, on this video, as you can see, I released a video back in August 1st of 2021 going over parabolic alt season is here for 2021. This is why. I'm going to go ahead and link a card above my head right now for you guys to watch. This video is going to just try to let you guys understand how incredible and how insane altcoin season can be. Can you really try to comprehend 10,000% growth or 60,000% growth like what happened with XRP? Like, that's just insane, right? And that's why on Twitter, I keep posting stuff like this. You ain't ready. No, you're not ready. Neither am I. Neither is anybody else. No one is ready for what this altcoin season is going to bring us. But we can start preparing now and make sure that we are as ready as we possibly can be for when this thing really kicks off. And you may be saying, hey, we've already taken off. We've already done these great things. Yes, we have. However, guys, this is not over. It's not over. It's going to get way more insane. And I've been updating you guys step by step along the way, and everything is going to plan. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the actual meat and potatoes of this video. So, number one, I want you guys to understand something. This was not my first alt season, okay? This is not my first bull run. Remember, I've been trading since back in 2017 and I've been holding crypto back since 2015. Okay? I'm used to what is expected of this market, and it still is something that absolutely blows my mind, guys. So, I bought crypto and I started trading it way back here at $8,000. Okay, this is when I started really trading. Now, you guys can see we went up and then we went down. And I've been dealing with 4 long years before we finally have started continuing. But this moment right here, this is when the altcoin season ran. It doesn't look like it, right? This is on the Bitcoin chart, and it doesn't look like much actually happened here. But right here is actually where the majority of the money was to be made in the market. Okay, right there. If you go to the total 2 chart, you can really, really understand how insane this actually did get. Find it real quick. 2019. Got to zoom out. There we go. So, one thing to understand is that Bitcoin topped off 17 December. Okay. 17 December, right here. You guys see this, right? 17 December. This is the top of Bitcoin. The altcoin market was currently at $248 billion. However, the altcoin market almost doubled in price in the span of a month. Okay, so in a month, the altcoin market doubled in price and individual altcoins increased drastically. Now, here's something else to understand. The market didn't just go parabolically for every coin at the same time. Instead, we had something called rotations. This is such an incredibly important term to understand. And you guys are starting to see this now. So, for example, a few days ago, Shiba. That was the coin everyone was talking about. Okay. However, then it rotated out to Mana and ENJ. Okay. We also had 8X pop off, and we keep having these other coins pop off every single day, right? This is what's expected, and this is what's going to continue to happen. Now, I'm going to give you guys an idea, and these are the all-time highs on some of the coins. I don't have a little graphic for you, but just listen to this and understand these are the peaks of these different coins. Bitcoin peaked off in 17 December. And this is 2017. Ethereum peaked at 9 January. XRP peaked at 4 January. Litecoin peaked at 19 December. Bitcoin Cash peaked at 20 December. NEM, which doesn't even really exist much anymore. That's like in the I think it's around like maybe top 100 possibly. It peaked in 7 January, but it was ranked like 4 or 5 in market cap. Stellar peaked in 2 January. EOS actually peaked way over here in 29 April of 2018. Okay, a little bit of an outlier there. It did get a good run over here, but it actually had its all-time way over here instead. Dash, which was another really, really top coin. I think it got into the top 5, if I remember correctly. That one peaked in 20 December. So what I'm trying to explain here, guys, is these coins just kept accelerating at different times. They would go up, then crash, up, then crash. Different ones would keep going up. Okay. So the important thing to understand is that all altcoins increased. Okay. Let me say that again. All altcoins increased. There are not many examples of coins that did not increase. And some of the coins that did get some massive gains had absolutely no fundamental value whatsoever. Some even ended up being a complete and utter Ponzi scheme like BitConnect. But regardless, BitConnect still had a ton of money in it because all altcoins popped. So, if you're sitting on the sideline right now and are getting irritated and frustrated because your altcoin has not popped yet, remember, these coins are going to pop at different times. That's okay. Furthermore, if you see a coin that has popped off, you should not be chasing it. Okay, let me say that again. If you see a coin that has popped off, you should not be chasing it. Now, there is something you can do. Okay, what you can do is find a coin that has popped off, and then what you do is you wait for a very healthy retracement. Let's go ahead and go back to Mana as a great example of this. So, Mana, as we know, it had an absolutely insane run a few days ago, right? So, it did have a very healthy increase. Okay, very, very healthy increase. However, as you guys can see, we've already retraced almost 50% from where we were. However, right now, no one cares about Mana. They're off to other coins. So, if you are wanting to get into Mana, what do you want to do? You want to wait until you actually get a healthy retracement level. How can you do that? Go to the Fibonacci retracement levels, go over here, and I am looking at getting into Mana somewhere between $2 and $2.30. This is my golden buy zone to get into this coin, right? While everyone else is off to the next best thing and trying to chase green candles, I'm waiting patiently on the side for a solid retracement for Mana so that I can get back into it for a continuation upwards. Okay. However, if you were trying to chase Mana and bought somewhere up the top, you're actually losing money in a bull run. That's not very smart. Okay. Now, the next thing you can do, and what I'd actually recommend even more so, since all coins are going to pop because that's what happened based upon previous history, go and move some of your profits that have coins that have already popped off and move them into coins that have not. Okay. So for instance, right now I'm loading up heavily on Litecoin. Why am I doing that? Well, based upon the analysis I gave 2 days in this channel, you know, high time frame, Litecoin looks really, really good. And also, it's extremely suppressed and has not popped off yet. So I'm rotating my profits from ENJ over into Litecoin. I did this live on Discord for my Patreon subscribers, okay? And I showed exactly how you play that. All right. So, you can either wait for a solid retracement or you can just rotate your profits into something that hasn't popped off yet. But since we know everything is going to pop, just be patient. That is so incredibly important, guys. Patience is going to win in this market. Okay. Um, find it real quick. Yes, right here. Patience is going to win in this market. Those who chase are going to lose money in a bull run. Many people who are buying Shiba right now are going to end up losing money in a bull run. And then when they start losing, they're going to get pissed and they're going to move money out of Shiba and they're going to do a revenge trade and going to get even further and down and down and down and down. And then by the end of this thing, they're going to realize, man, I actually lost money during one of the biggest bull markets that crypto has ever had. Okay. Be patient and things will work out. Now, obviously, I cannot give you guys financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. However, this is what I'm doing, and it has worked out very well given the previous history of prior bull runs. Now, so now we've talked about rotations, we've talked about patience and things that we're looking for this bull market. The next thing we're going to talk about is an exit plan. Okay. Now, you may be saying to yourself, what does it matter about an exit plan? We are just getting started. And yes, we are. And that's great, right? We are just now getting started with a massive, massive bull run that's going to accelerate our altcoins to levels that we could only dream of. But now is the absolute best time to make an exit plan. Realistically, the best time to make an exit plan was a couple months ago when I've been telling you guys to make an exit plan. However, now is the second best time ever you can do so. Now, why do you want to do it now? Well, right now, you can think logically. You can think rationally and make a plan without having your portfolio double in price every day. Whenever you have your portfolio double in price every day, it's going to be a lot harder to make a rational plan. Okay. Although the market is going to go up very drastically and it's going to blow your mind and you're going to think, I cannot lose, eventually the music's going to stop. And when the music's going to stop, you are still holding those bags, you will have a very, very rough time trying to get rid of them. I don't know if you guys saw the Squid Game. See if it works on here. Coin, the Squid Game coin. But this Squid Game coin actually went down essentially to nothing in the span. There we go. Look, Squid Game coin started at $37, went all of $2,800, and it went down to zero in the span of minutes. Okay, minutes, guys. Look at this. 5 minutes, it went from $3,000 to essentially worthless. Okay, this is the stuff. This is obviously a much more exaggerated one, but just understand when there are no more buyers for a coin, the market is going to collapse. Okay, when there's no more buyers for a coin, the market is going to collapse. And if you are in a very low liquidity coin, like Squid Game obviously was, when the music stops and there are no more buyers, you have to sell whoever's available. And if there is nobody, you're going to get nothing for your coins. Okay. That's something to understand. So you need to make a plan now because once the music stops playing, guys, it's going to be really, really, really hard to get rid of your coins. So, how do you do this, right? Let's talk about some different things that you can do. Now, for one, I want you guys to understand how incredibly difficult it is to catch the top. Okay. Incredibly difficult. And just to give you an idea, let's talk about some of these coins that what happened back in the previous bull runs. This is the right one. Bittrex. I think Bittrex went back far enough. Yes, it did. Awesome. So XRP, for instance, increased just in this one pump. It increased by around 1,600%. Extremely hard to try to grasp and try to pick out exactly where this thing is going to pump from. And this was the second pump of this bull run, so it actually was much less in the earlier of the year than back in December. All right, and it's exceptionally hard to understand where the top is going to be. So one of two things generally is going to happen. You are either, if you're going to try to catch the top, you're either going to be selling way down here because as it goes up, you're like, oh, look, I made 100%. That's amazing. I'm going to go ahead and cash out. Okay. Or you're going to be targeting $30 and you're never going to sell. Okay. And then once it does collapse, you already know what happens. Just like Squid Game, there are no more buyers, right? Those are your two options essentially, or what most of the people are going to do. They're either going to sell way too early or they're going to sell way too late. So catching the top is something that is exceptionally hard to do. Furthermore, if you're not a very good trader, you might as well take that dream and toss it to the wayside, okay? Because you're playing against the best people, the best traders in the world. And if you think that you can go out there and outsmart the best traders in the world and catch the top, I don't know what to tell you, but you probably should be, checked into an institution or something because it's very, very unlikely you will be the one that goes out there and pinpoints it exactly. Okay. So now that you understand it's exceptionally hard to do so, what are some things that you can do? Well, I've already talked to you guys about actually having levels established on where you're going to start selling certain positions, and this can be based upon a lot of different things. And I've talked about as well on using the Bitcoin pairing to really try to figure that out. Now, you can do this based upon your own life goals. Maybe it's something like once I get to a certain point, I am able to do this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and cash it out so I can do that. Whatever your life-changing goal is going to be, and that's a very good option depending on your own personal lifestyle. Another thing you can do is called dollar cost averaging. And what that means is you take out a certain dollar amount or a certain percentage per time frame. Does not matter what's happening in the market. You are going to take out a certain percentage or certain a dollar amount per day, per week, per month, etc., and you do it no matter what is happening. It takes out the guesswork and you're not trying to trade the market. If you're not a very experienced trader, which nothing wrong about that, especially as your first bull run, it's not expected for you to be able to do that, right? So you can just take out a certain percentage or a certain dollar amount on a certain time frame and call it good. Nothing wrong about that. And that's actually one of the things that I'm going to be doing in my own personal plan. I talked to my wife, and what we're going to do is I will be taking out 1% of my portfolio per week. 1% of my total portfolio per week for the remainder of the bull run. Okay. So I don't expect this bull run to last more than about 3 months or so. So because of that, I'm going to take out about about 12, 9 to 12-ish installments of just constantly pulling out 1% per week. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is so that no matter if I do mess this whole thing up and I do miss the top and everything else and yada, 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 at least I have taken profits and I'm up and I pulled out my initial investment and myself and my wife are not going to be struggling, etc. Right. And that's part of my plan. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to accept the fact that no matter, even though I am a good trader and I consider myself a, fairly decent one for sure, I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm not better than the experts. I'm not, right? I'm not going to say that I'm going to catch all the tops and I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to be too involved in that. So instead, I am going to do something absolutely insane. And at first, when I tell you guys, you're going to be like, what? But I'm going to explain it to you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the market go up and 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 up. And all of a sudden, it crashes. And I am going to be okay with that. I'm going to intentionally let it go up and I'm going to intentionally let it crash. Crazy, right? But here's why. Because whenever a market does go up and it does crash, it does something very, very important. Okay. Very, very important. It does what's called a exit pump or a solid retracement. And on essentially every chart, or most charts at least, you're going to get a very solid exit pump. And if you are disciplined and you know what you're looking for, those exit pumps are actually pretty obvious hindsight 2020, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the entire market go up and I'm going to let the entire market crash. And then I am going to just wait until we get an exit pump. So on Bitcoin, for instance, you can see went up, it crashed, and then we had our exit pump. Now, where did the exit pump get to? Well, let's look at that real quick. So come over here from the very top down to the very bottom. The exit pump came right back up to the golden pocket region. Interesting, right? So let's go another coin, Litecoin. Another one of the major players back in 2017. Go back to 3-day, make it a little easier to get back over there. Like I told you guys, sort of winging this thing as I go. All right, yeah, we went up 10,000%, right? I'm gonna go back over here, and we're gonna see where it drops to. From the top to the bottom, it essentially back up to the almost the golden pocket, not entirely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off a little bit down here at the 236, a little right here at the 382, and the remainder of it here at the 618. Okay, and that's how I'm going to play the market. Now, the main thing I'm looking for is going to be the total 2 chart. Okay, total 2 chart. And the same thing happened. Going to go back over here is the entire market. All right, here we go. From the very top to the very bottom. Where we retrace to, not too bad. 382, right? Or if you come back up here, right back up here, about the 0.5. Okay, and here's what I'm going for, guys. There's usually a retracement, or there is always a retracement pump. It depends on what level you're going to. Now, not only are you going to use that, you're also going to use your simple breakers and figure out where are the key levels of resistance you have. Well, that's a pretty obvious one right there, huh? 3-day level, right? Go back to Bitcoin. It was actually very easy to play on Bitcoin. 2015, there we are. Go ahead and get rid of this. Well, we're on the weekly level. Weeklies are always very important. So first off, you annotate your major levels of support. There's a major level of support. So whenever it crashed, where did it bounce from? Huh, interesting. Weekly breaker, right? All right. Now you got to come over here. It's a weekly breaker, right? Interesting. Came up here, tapped it. Beautiful. Another breaker right there. What happens here? Tapped it. Interesting, right? Another break formed, right? What happened? Tapped it. Maybe. Could we do it even again? Look at that. Another tap of our weekly breakers. Okay. Very important, guys. So, like I showed you guys, the Fibonacci retracements are going to give you a good estimation. And then you can also play your individual breakers. Now, what I'm looking for me to start unloading my position, I'm going to be doing what's called a looking for weakness. Okay. Now, things that I'm looking for on weakness is going to be loss of support levels. It's going to be bearish divergences. It's going to be low volume pumps that don't have the normal volume of an initial impulse, right? You're also looking for channels. Channels are a very good sign of a corrective structure, something like once it drops and it starts channeling, that may be something like a bear flag, maybe. You guys may have heard that before, right? So a drop, a channel, and a continuation down, right? You can also look for certain patterns, right? Like a rising wedge would be a bearish pattern. A head and shoulders would be a bearish pattern. Maybe it's sort of a rounded top into a major resistance level. Those are all some things that I'm looking for to give me more clues that the top is actually in. Now, another thing going for, I totally forgot about this one. Another one that we can look at for a exit pump. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? Yep. As Dogecoin decided to go super parabolic. But, look at this, guys. All right, back to the daily. Back over here. This was Dogecoin back in May. I'm sure we're all very familiar with this chart. Well, go from the top down to the bottom. Where did it retrace to? Right here. Absolutely perfect golden pocket tap. Interesting, right? And most recently, this is something I played yesterday while I was on Discord with the Patreon subscribers. And what I did is I said, hey, E&J just had a really nice pump. I'm looking for an exit bump so I can move some position into Litecoin. Well, look at that, guys. Golden pocket retracement. Sorry about that. So yeah, guys, this is essentially what I'm looking for. So, um, overall, guys, the so what I'll be doing is I will be doing my 1% per week pulling out, and then I will be taking out levels depending upon shows of weakness and also the loss of major breakers. All right, guys. Well, outside of that, that's the main thing I want to talk about in this video, guys. Overall, the market is about to explode. It's very, very clear. And I hope you guys are ready for this. I know you're not, and I'm not ready. But if you want to get the most information you can and really, really try to get as much information and as much signals and all that good stuff and get feedback and mentorship and all that, make sure you guys are a part of the Discord, guys. It's really, really, really going to help you guys out on become better traders and get you guys more information. We got one heck of a community in here, some really good traders in here, and we've been really killing it. So, really consider doing that. Outside of that, I'm gonna let you guys go. I have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like always, deuces, boys.